What's up everybody, it's the Inhuman one here, and today I'm going to explain to you what exactly the Sapphire Star is in Monster Hunter World. Now before we begin, I want to go ahead and point out that this new discovery, which was brought to my attention by commenter Dark Ray the Dreamkeeper, forced me to begin my research of the Sapphire Star's meaning, origin, and purpose a bit earlier than I'd anticipated. But thankfully, it also sheds light on the Elder Dragon God hidden in the Elder's Recess. So if you haven't already jumped to conclusions, allow me to assist you. The Sapphire Star is none other than the Elder Dragon God Xeno'jiiva. Don't believe me? Well, stick around if you want to see in-game proof that explains not only the origin of Xeno'jiiva, but also its direct connection to the Sapphire Star. The lore implications that this discovery has on the narrative are incredible, and I'm so thankful for Dark Ray's comment pointing me in the right direction. So without further ado, let's begin by identifying the canonical source that proves Xeno'jiiva is indeed the Sapphire Star. But in order to do this, we have to go back in time. Back to a time before time even existed, and when the world itself was in its infancy. Now I'm going to read to you the creation myth, the Tale of the Five, that can be located in the third room upgrade on the nightstand next to the bed. Now this is going to allow us to examine several excerpts that will help us identify who and what the Sapphire Star is. Once there was a world without time. The world was nothing but white light, inhabited only by people and 5 dragons. In that world there was only eternity and a sun that burned without beginning or end. And because there was only timeless eternity, nothing was ever lost, yet nothing was ever gained. One day, the people began to wonder why their world had no beginning or end, so they asked the dragons. The dragons opened their mouths as if to answer, but from their mouths poured water instead of words. It rushed out in streams to create the sky and the oceans, and the dragons swam away. The dragons swam to the center of the ocean, and there they began to transform into an island. One dragon sank into the sea and became the land. One dragon lifted its gaze to the sky and became the mountains. One dragon stooped low and became the lakes and scattered its scales to create the rain. One dragon fell into a deep slumber and became the forests. The last dragon climbed far into the sky to become a star of sapphire blue, shining brightly above the island. The people could not understand why the dragons had left, or why they had transformed. Eventually, a lone youth decided to go to the island to seek the answers from the dragons themselves. He donned a simple cloak, climbed into a simple boat, and cast off alone to the murky seas. At last, guided by the Sapphire Star, he reached the Island of the Five. Some time passed and the youth returned. "Did you speak with the dragons?" the people asked. "Yes, I spoke with them," he replied. "Then tell us, why did they create the island?" But the youth did not answer. Instead, he reached into his cloak and pulled out 5 dragon scales, which he gave to the people, and then, before anyone realized, the youth disappeared. The people left their white world and sailed across the ocean. Using the 5 scales, they created their own lands, their own mountains, their own lakes, and their own forests. Last of all, they created a bright moon, so that the Sapphire Star, which guided the youth during his voyage to seek the dragons, would no longer shine alone in the sky. The land grew large enough to obscure the sun, and day and night were born. The mountains, lakes, and forests breathed together, and the seasons were born. The moon cast its light on the ocean, and waves were born, and thus time was also born. Swept up in the almighty current of time, the people came to know death, but the people also came to know life. Countless days and countless nights have passed since people first came to live on the islands they had created. As time passed, they lost their memory of the 5 dragons, and even the memory of how time itself had been born. But deep inside their hearts there dwelt a quiet knowledge of the Island of the Five, the most sacred place in the world, which to this day sleeps in the middle of the ocean, uninhabited by people, and unchanged even by the relentless flow of time. As you can see, the once mysterious origin of the Sapphire Star has been explained quite clearly to us in-game. The Sapphire Star was simply one of the founding Elder Dragon gods that helped form the world for mankind. The Sapphire Star was revered as a symbol of guidance and hope that would lead to a paradise, an island that was untainted by the outside world that was known for its purity. The island depicted in this creation myth is none other than the New World itself, which is home to not only the Elder's Recess, but also Xeno'jiiva. It's a well-known fact that the Research Commission has only been able to successfully land 5 fleets in the New World due to its nearly inaccessible nature caused by the erratic changes in climate in the surrounding area, as well as the recent technological barriers faced by mankind. So the New World is still relatively untainted by mankind by the time the A-rank hunter is introduced to it in the main narrative, which fits perfectly with the description of the island in the creation myth. Now that we have examined the myth in more detail, let's take a look at a few of the traits of Xeno'jiiva and how it fits the description of the Sapphire Star. For starters, the most obvious connection is the fact that Xeno'jiiva is a lovely shade of blue. Not so coincidentally, the most common color of this gem sapphire is also blue. The second point is Xeno'jiiva's location in the New World. The creation myth we read earlier referenced the Sapphire Star's connection to the New World. And lastly, we know that Xeno'jiiva is no ordinary Elder Dragon. In fact, Xeno'jiiva is an Elder Dragon god. This observation can be supported by the fact that the material descriptions for Xeno'jiiva reference its deific nature and also due to the analysis of Xeno'jiiva's name. If we break its name down into two specific words, we can discover some insight on the infant Elder Dragon god. Xeno actually means different in origin, and in Hinduism and Jainism, although they have different meanings, the word jiva refers to a life force or soul, or an entity imbued with life force, essentially the part of a being that lives on after death. So when put together, the name Xeno'jiiva means a being of different origin, born of life force. It is evident in the main game that many of the other Elder Dragons the A-Rank Hunter encounters are vastly different from Xeno'jiiva in more ways than one. This further supports that Xeno'jiiva is a being of a different caliber. In summary, it is quite clear that the Sapphire Star is indeed Xeno'jiiva, the Elder Dragon god. The creation myth, the Tale of the Five, explains the origin of the Sapphire Star and further implicates that the star is indeed an Elder Dragon located in the New World. It's interesting to see such rich lore in the Monster Hunter World universe, and I plan on uncovering every little bit of it and sharing it with you on my channel. In upcoming videos, I will be covering the Tale of the Five in more detail, and also the lore of the remaining Elder Dragons and monsters that I find interesting in general. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Also be sure to check out my lore videos on Xeno'jiiva that I posted for your viewing pleasure. In the end, do you think that man killed a symbol of hope and replaced the original Sapphire Star with one of their own? Well, you'll have to wait and see. And until next time, it's the Inhuman one, signing out.